My dear viewers, hello and welcome to a new episode of our program, My Culture Magazine, during which we're going to bring you the latest cultural events that are taking place in Egypt. Please stay tuned.
Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdedaim followed up on the activities of the cultural caravans organized by the General Authority for Cultural Palaces, headed by Dr. Ahmed Awad at border regions and Sinai. The Minister of Culture said that Valley Caravans project is to achieve cultural justice and support patriotism among the members of society. She added that Valley Caravans complete the activities of the People of Egypt project, organized by the authority to integrate children in border areas as one of the ministry's work axes, to spread culture in every inch of the country, as well as aim to discover and support talents. The project aims to work mainly for people living in border regions and present them to the community through specialized workshops organized with the participation of a number of specialists in all arts, stressing that the Egyptian community is rich in talents in all creative fields. It is noteworthy that the fifth convoy of the Valley's Caravan project was organized in the Sarabit Valley, and it included exhibitions of producing children's workshops in plastic arts, recycling of environmental material, music and singing workshops, poetry and recitation workshops as well, in addition to women's workshops in the art of Sinai embroidery, bedspreads, jewelry, and beadwork, in which 125 children participated, including 70 girls and women from the valleys. Minister of Culture Ines Abdedaim celebrated the winners of Ratib al-Hifni Arab Music and Singing Competition. The event was held as part of the 29th Arab Music Festival. The competition aims to shed light on young musical talents in Egypt, including people with special needs. The minister announced that the ceremony was held to honor the winners of the competitions, accompanying the Arab Music Festival's activities in order to present the young talents to the public. The event began with a screening of a film that included clips of the winners receiving the competition prizes. The awards were announced and presented during the closing ceremony of the 29th Arab Music Festival. During the ceremony, the competition's winners presented a number of traditional and modern Arab musical songs. The annual Ratib al-Hifni Arab Music and Singing Competition received dozens of participants, including youth and children and people with special needs. The competition was divided into several categories, including a new song contest, Arab singing for youth, Arab singing for children, Arab singing for people with special needs, and singing for children with special needs, as well as a cello performance. Abdedaim said that the competitions aim to discover new talents. She added that this will ensure that the country's cultural identity and various artistic sectors are preserved. The minister elaborated that the competition is an assertion of the success achieved by the Arab Music Festival, which embodies an ability to form and build a national character capable of achieving the desired development for Egypt. As a continuation of the Egyptian Opera House's plan headed by Dr. Magdi Sabit, aiming to produce serious creative arts, the Egyptian Modern Theatrical Dance Troupe presents Akhenaton's life and controversial philosophy, choreographed and directed by Walid Aouni, over the course of 2 days at the Grand Theatre. Aouni says that Akhenaton is an exceptional historical figure who stirred controversy as he sought to lay the foundations of mental perfection and total harmony of the essence of life. Choreographer Aouni elaborated that the show tackles history and embodies the character of the pharaoh and his relationship with some of his contemporaries, namely the mother Queen T, father Amenhotep, and his wife Nefertiti. The concept that Akhenaton called for more than 3,000 years ago was embracing a unified religion that transcends the human being and depends on the sacredness of the sun and light, depicting the struggle with the priests of Amun and their rejection of his principles through expressive dancing and theater scenes that seek to decipher the intellectual state in which Akhenaton is manifested. It is noteworthy that the Modern Theatrical Dance Troupe was established in 1993 and is considered the first of its kind in the Arab world. It has achieved great successes by tackling topics specialized in Egyptian and Arab arts and civilization. The troupe has presented more than 26 artistic performances, participated in many international festivals, and won several awards. The troupe also performed in most European countries, the United States, China, Korea, and Arab countries, and they have won the admiration of the masses and critics.
The Ministry of Culture is keen on preserving heritage. Let's watch the following segment.
On the occasion of the International Day of Islamic Art, the educational section of the Museum of Islamic Art in Cairo celebrated a major celebration entitled Art's Bridge of Times. The The celebration included an exhibition of traditional crafts, which are considered an extension of Islamic art through the ages, and with a participation of 20 exhibitors who took the initiative to display their products inspired by Islamic art.
We have lots of generations. Many of them are dying right now. Many of the products is a kind of a product of a line of production. And many in the line of production, they are aging and they need to convey the message, the skill to following generations. So we are still in need for that. We are still in need for the protection and for the support of the state in order to continue the message. Yes, it can proceed, it can still produce, it can still be a part of every day, of every household, but demands a kind of support from the state. That's a very interesting piece because we're talking about a unique piece because of its size. It is 155 centimeters wide, as well as from a rim to the last end about 165 centimeter, and its weighing about like 33 kilograms, including 11 kilograms of pure silver and 300 grams as well. So we are talking about pure Swiss silver. It took about like 13 months and still 1 month to just complete the final finishes and final touches, to be like 14 months of labor of 14 artisans. It represents the peak of quality of craftsmanship for the large work we investigated, because here in the museum, this is the largest Islamic collection in the world. So we don't have such diameter. So we are about to speak about something like we can describe as the largest silver inlay on copper in the world. So we are applying to Guinness record. We're trying to have this. We say that this is a continuation of different civilizations. So we started in the middle, of course, by being the Egyptians. So we have the Egyptian art. It started by the Egyptian part, which is the depiction of the Karnak, followed by another band with Jewish presence as well as Roman to come, and all of these metaphors and myths, some examples of that. Of course, with the Coptic presence and the Coptic advent to Egypt as the face and arts, and then followed by the Islamic band. And then we end up again with the pharaonic motifs, saying that we started with Egypt and we end with Egypt. So we are presenting a kind of a bridge between three civilizations: pharaonic, Roman, Greco-Roman, and Coptic, as well as Islamic, and three religions: Jewish, Christianity, and the Islam, as a message that is really can be up to the standards of Egypt as a state of religions and civilization, manifested in a piece of copper and silver. And this is our message in an artifact. That's what we are trying to convey to the world. And we will be doing our best in order to have it registered in Genesis record so we can speak the message out loud. as a development expert, taking heritage as my material, the idea is that we need to proceed with some traditional arts, etc., like what happened in Far East, for example, in the development. So before China became a booming country in industry, they counted much on the art and the crafts and handmade stuff and all of these things. So they produce lots of jobs, they produce lots of materials, and they are sending it to everywhere while everybody is counting on mechanical systems. Right now, we have still the spirit of the handmade, we have the beauty of art, and it's still there. The home accessories and all of these things can be just celebrating illumination, accentuate any simple minimalistic style. Even if it is modern, even if it is classic, there is always a corner that can be occupied with such a beauty. And with good marketing, we still can do that. We still can produce lots of jobs with many people who can participate in that efficiently, effectively, if we really find the right marketing game and plan. And such a work can be even minimalistic more, so it can be in mass production, semi-manual, things like this. All depends on the plan, marketing, and the vision of the state and those in charge.
Today it's all about the Islamic art. The event, it's all about the Islamic art, and we are celebrating it today as the UNESCO declared that today is going to be the day of the Islamic art in the world. So I made a painting with an Islamic motifs in a modern way as my style. Well, to combine these two styles, and that's it. It's an acrylic painting. I also do oil painting, but today I chose the acrylic painting. I think it gives more richness to the art and tell about the Islamic art more.
I think it's very special. For me, it's very beautiful. The content in the museum is very amazing.
To me, this sort of art, what I can say about it, that it is, as I said before, it's a dialogue. Or, you know, one thing for sure is that you can say that a certain language can specifically affect the way that people think. So this why that we have different cultures, and that's why that we have certain technology and certain artistry in different regions in the air. So like the Celtics, Nordic, the Arabic culture, the domestic, and Vikings and whatnot. Each and every one of them has a different way to express their own minds, their own cultures. My main enthusiast about this is to make sure that I capture most of these and make sure that I can document these in a digital world where everyone can have an access to such a thing and be able to recognize what a human being can do, what a human culture can do. This, for an example, for what I can see, this is a testimony of what a human being can do and what how a collective effort of people, cultures, and ideas can produce such a mastery. So that's why I'm here today. It's to make sure that I can get a glimpse of such an artistry and make sure that I will register myself and get inspired by it with my work. I know it's a side project, but I hope that it's something that I could grow with, later on. International. Well, for me, it's to be everyone to have an ability to access to it. I want every node to be able to share, especially the Arabic culture, the Islamic geometry in specific. There's not a lot of work that people can see outside. I would like to have them to be able to see such a thing, to be honest. Everyone to be able to see the comparisons between different cultures and to be able to get inspired in modern designs. This is what I would like to have for it in the future.
Celebrating the International Day of Islamic Art is a great proof that this unique art is part of our identity that will survive through ages and will always revive itself through history. Shuruk Bikir, Culture Magazine.
The Cairo Opera House plays a significant role in the cultural movement that is taking place in Egypt.
The Cairo Opera House, part of Cairo's National Culture Center, is the main performing arts venue in the Egyptian capital, home to most Egypt's finest musical groups. Cairo Opera House hosted this summer a series of concerts under the auspices of Ministry of Culture headed by Dr. Ines Abdeldaim. One of those concerts was Hanan Modi's concert on the small stage. Singer Hanan Modi performed a concert on the small stage of the Egyptian Opera House and performed during the ceremony a bouquet of her most famous songs. Hanan Modi is an Egyptian singer born in Cairo in 1966. She grew in popularity during the 1990s and produced 4 albums with her husband, composer Yasser Abdulrahman. Her father, Mohammed Modi, was a violinist who played with Kulthum. Egyptian singer Hanan Modi, known for her TV theme songs from the 1990s, and gave a concert at the Cairo Opera House. Modi made her debut singing alongside Omar Khayrat on the well-known theme song from the TV series Al-Liqa Al-Thani, and then went on to record the theme for the Al-Mal Wal-Banoon series. The Conservatoire Music Institute graduate has been accompanied by the Sound of Egypt's orchestra at recent concerts. She has released 4 albums during her career featuring popular tracks like Laylat Ishq, Al-Bahr, Shaddi Ad-Dafair, Asfour, and Can We Can.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, My Culture Magazine. I hope you've enjoyed being with me. Please wait for me in the next episode. Until then, it's goodbye.